All right, diving in today, folks. We're tackling a real heavyweight this time, The Great Gatsby, F. Scott Fitzgerald's masterpiece, from back in 1925.
Yeah, a true classic. And we've got a great guide for this deep dive. Dr. Jasvant Rathod, his analysis really digs deep into the book, helps us understand what makes it tick.
Totally. So, our mission here, to extract the core. What are the big ideas? What makes it resonate even now? And of course, all those little details that make it so fascinating. So whether you're coming to Gatsby fresh or it's an old favorite, stick with us. First things first, we got to set the scene. The Roaring Twenties. America. Huge changes, new money everywhere. That feeling in the air is key to understanding everything that happens in the story.
Absolutely. That extravagance, the parties, that sense of
Yeah.
possibility, limitless excess everywhere. That's the backdrop for Gatsby's whole drama.
So we see all this through Nick Carraway. He heads east, ends up in West Egg, Long Island, and even the geography is important here.
Oh, for sure. West Egg is where the new money's flashing their wealth. Big
Mhm.
mansions. And right across the water, you get East Egg. The old money family's been there forever. Dr. Rathod really nails this, I think. You've got this immediate social divide. It's subtle, but man, it impacts everything. How they interact, how they see each other.
And right next door to Nick, in this kind of modest house, is this palace, Jay Gatsby's mansion. And this guy throws these insane weekend parties. Huge, opulent, just packed with people. Lots of them he doesn't even know. Wild.
It is, isn't it? Dr. Rathod talks about that scale. And Gatsby himself, he's almost distant in all this chaos,
Ugh.
hosting, providing this crazy entertainment. But there's a mystery there. What's driving him? It's a puzzle for Nick and for us at the beginning.
And that motivation, it's deeply personal and tied to Nick. Turns out Gatsby wants Nick to help him reconnect with his cousin, Daisy Buchanan. Years ago, they were in love. But Daisy ended up marrying Tom Buchanan. Immensely wealthy, probably some societal pressure there, maybe just a practical decision on Daisy's part.
Yeah, that rekindled romance is at the heart of everything. Nick helps them meet again. Gatsby spent years building this new life, this fortune, all for Daisy, to win her back. Dr. Rathod, I think, hits the nail on the head here. It speaks volumes about Gatsby, his ambitions, and the hold the past has on him.
But hold on, it's not a simple love triangle, right? Daisy's husband, Tom Buchanan, he's got his own flaws. He's having an affair with Myrtle Wilson. So now it's even more complicated. Morally, really shows you the ethical landscape in this world, or maybe the lack of one.
Yeah, you're right. Tom's cheating really highlights the hypocrisy, this sense of entitlement, like it's built into this upper class. Dr. Rathod probably talks about this, but Tom's actions, they set off this chain of events, and the consequences are huge, tragic even, for a bunch of characters.
And things really escalate. There's this confrontation, Tom and Gatsby. It all comes down to Daisy. Who does she love? And in this crucial moment for Gatsby, Daisy chooses Tom. Devastating. The world Gatsby built, it crumbles.
Oh man, that scene is intense. Daisy, she can't commit. She retreats back to the safety of her marriage, that comfort. It tells you so much about her. And it exposes the limits of Gatsby's dream, this plan he so carefully built. Dr. Rathod might argue that it shows the power of social forces, those habits you just can't shake.
And then the turning point. It's tragic. Myrtle, Tom's mistress, she's killed, hit and run. Gatsby's car was involved, but Daisy was driving. And in this act of, honestly, cowardice, Tom points the finger at Gatsby, uses George Wilson, Myrtle's husband, his grief, tells him Gatsby did it.
This is where the rot, that moral decay, becomes so clear. Tom's ready to shift blame, exploit this man's pain. Just brutal. Dr. Rathod, I bet, would point out how this shows the ruthlessness hiding under this veneer of wealth and status.
And the tragedy keeps coming. George, fueled by Tom's lies, he finds Gatsby at his mansion, shoots him right in the pool, then takes his own life. Gatsby dies alone. His grand ambition ends in isolation. Only a few people, Nick included, even show up at the funeral. It's empty. Shows how superficial this world really is, the society he wanted so badly to be part of.
Gatsby's death. So lonely. It's like Dr. Rathod says, it's a judgment on his achievements. It's all hollow. He's got no real connection, no understanding. The people who flock to those parties, gone when it matters.
And the story ends with Nick. Totally disillusioned, he sees the emptiness, the moral vacuum. He leaves West Egg, leaves it all behind.
Nick's leaving is important. I think Dr. Rathod would say it's rejecting this world, the shallowness. He wants something real. Maybe he's got a romanticized idea of the Midwest, but still.
So what's the heart of it all, this story?
It's Gatsby, his pursuit of Daisy. Relentless. Driven by his money, his displays of wealth, and it leads to his destruction. Poignant. Tragic. It shows how empty material success can be. And you can't recapture the past.
Nick's role in all this is crucial too, right? He's the observer, but he becomes so much more. He understands the moral compromises, the seduction of this world.
Exactly. He's our window into this life. He's fascinated at first, but then comes the disillusionment. He sees the selfishness, the destructive actions. Dr. Rathod, I'm sure, would say Nick's journey reflects our own as readers.
Okay, let's dig into some of these big themes. Dr. Rathod lays them out so well. First one that jumps out, the American dream.
Right. Gatsby, his life, it embodies a certain vision of that dream. Work hard, get rich, you can have anything. In his case, winning Daisy back.
But the ending, Gatsby's tragedy, it's critical of that dream, right? Money doesn't equal happiness,
Yeah.
doesn't equal love. This pursuit of success, it can twist the ideals, corrupt them.
Absolutely. I think Dr. Rathod makes the case that the novel is critiquing a corrupted American dream. This version where wealth becomes everything. You lose sight of real values, meaningful connections. Gatsby's dream, it's all material, hollow. You can't achieve it in its pure form.
And then there's love and obsession. Gatsby's feelings for Daisy are strong, but they become something else, don't they? Almost unhealthy.
The key here, and Dr. Rathod likely highlights this, is Gatsby's love is rooted in the past, this perfect memory of their young romance. He doesn't see the real Daisy, the present one, who's chasing a ghost, an image he's built up, and that blinds him to Daisy's reality, her true character.
That's so different from real love, right? Accepting someone as they are, flaws and all. Gatsby, he's trying to get back a moment in time.
That's it. He's fixated on recreating a specific point in the past, not on a genuine future. With the actual Daisy, I think Dr. Rathod really emphasizes this. It's central to Gatsby's downfall.
And you can't talk about the Great Gatsby without talking about wealth and class. That contrast between East Egg and West Egg, how the old money looks down on the new, it's tense.
The novel's incredibly detailed in its social hierarchy. Those subtle ways class defines behavior, perception. Old money, like the Buchanans, they've got this innate sense of superiority. The new rich, like Gatsby, they're constantly striving for acceptance, validation, but they're viewed with scorn, often. Anyway, I think Dr. Rathod does a great job analyzing this.
And it's not just the super rich. This fixation on status, possessions, it's everywhere in this society.
Absolutely. Getting rich, showing off your wealth, becomes the defining trait. More important than values, ethics, Dr. Rathod would agree, I think.
Hope and disillusionment, another powerful theme. Gatsby, he's so determined. He has this hope he can win Daisy back, recreate the past.
It's almost tragic how intense his hope is. It consumes him. And when it falls apart, when he sees it's impossible, devastating. I think Dr. Rathod's argument is that the novel shows the danger of clinging to unrealistic dreams, how much it can hurt.
And lastly, there's this moral decay everywhere. Can you even think of a truly good character in this whole book?
It's tough, isn't it? There's dishonesty, cheating, a lack of ethics, really, all over.
Yeah.
It paints this picture of a society in flux, morally. Things are changing fast, socially, economically, the jazz age, all that energy, excitement, but it's morally ambiguous. A key point in Dr. Rathod's analysis.
All right, let's talk about the players, the characters, starting with Jay Gatsby himself. A mystery, full of contradictions.
Tats is murky. Dr. Rathod might explore this more. Hints of humble beginnings, then boom, immense wealth. Maybe not totally legal. He builds this persona, charming, almost mythical. The parties, the extravagance, it's all to get Daisy's attention. But underneath, he's deeply lonely.
Then you have Nick, our narrator. I think Dr. Rathod would say he's honest, a decent guy, but he goes through this moral awakening, seeing all this unfold.
Yeah, Nick's neutrality at the start is important. He can observe the rich, their lives, and then he sees their true colors. He judges them morally. It frames the whole story, helps us understand the deeper meaning, a perspective Dr. Rathod would definitely highlight.
Daisy Buchanan, the woman Gatsby's obsessed with, beautiful for sure, alluring, rich, obviously. Yeah.
But there's more, right? Underneath, as Dr. Rathod might say, she's shallow, indecisive. At the core, she's selfish. She won't leave the safety of her marriage, the status it gives her, even though she admits she had, and maybe still has, feelings for Gatsby.
Dawn Buchanan, the poster child for old money, powerful, arrogant, that sense of entitlement is just, wow.
Tom, he embodies the rot at the heart of this elite class. He's inherited wealth. It's given him a free pass. He cheats openly, controls people, never faces consequences, at least not in his own mind. Dr. Rathod, I'm sure, points this out.
Jordan Baker, briefly Nick's love interest, a pro golfer. She embodies that moral ambiguity, doesn't she?
Jordan, she's comfortable in a world where dishonesty is normal.
Yeah.
Cynicism is just how you get by. She bends the truth easily. Dr. Rathod might delve into how that reflects the broader moral climate of this high society.
And Myrtle Wilson, Tom's mistress, working class, desperate for a better life. She ends up a victim of the rich, their carelessness.
Myrtle's ambition. Her desire to climb the social ladder, it leads to tragedy. She's a pawn in their games. It highlights the inequality, the danger of crossing class lines. Something Dr. Rathod would emphasize, I'd say.
And lastly, George Wilson, Myrtle's husband, ordinary guy, devastated by his wife's affair and then her death. It drives him to that final act.
George, he represents the working class, the forgotten people. Exploited, his grief, his anger, Tom twists it all. It all leads to the climax, the tragedy. And Dr. Rathod would probably say it shows how destructive the actions of these other characters are.
Let's talk about Fitzgerald, how he writes. Dr. Rathod, I think, would call it beautiful, poetic, the way he describes the 1920s. Vivid.
Oh, yeah. His prose is amazing, the imagery, the mansions, the parties, so vibrant, chaotic. And then you've got symbols, like the green light. You're right there, in the jazz age, seeing it, hearing it, feeling it.
And Nick's telling the story looking back. That adds a lot, doesn't it? Reflection, insight.
Totally. Nick doesn't just describe the events, he's had time to think about them, understand the motivations. He's offering a mature perspective. On the tragedy, the characters, it shapes how we see it. Dr. Rathod likely points this out.
And the symbols. The green light, for example. Dr. Rathod probably discusses this. It represents so much. Gatsby's dreams, the connection to Daisy, so powerful.
Yeah, the green light is this constant symbol. Gatsby yearning for what's gone, his idealized vision of Daisy. It represents the impossible, what he can never have.
And Fitzgerald's sentences, they can be elaborate, but that adds to the feeling, doesn't it? Rich, dreamy.
His language is carefully constructed, ornate, and it really enhances the atmosphere. It's lyrical, beautiful, but there's this undercurrent of sadness, too. It runs through the whole story.
And he balances those two so well. The hope, the sadness. You're drawn in by Gatsby's dream, but there's this sense of doom. It's really effective.
I agree. Fitzgerald nails that emotional complexity. His story captivates you, but it's also poignant. It's about human ambition and how it can go so wrong.
Even the title, The Great Gatsby. There's so much there. Dr. Rathod, I'm sure, would talk about the irony of great.
The title, it sets you up for grandeur, importance. But then you get to know Gatsby, his motivations, and the irony hits you. His greatness, the money, the parties, it's all a mask hiding emptiness, leading to tragedy.
It makes you wonder, is Gatsby really great? Or is it all an illusion? Ambition that can never be fulfilled.
Exactly. The title forces you to think, what does greatness even mean? What are the values of the society? They elevate Gatsby for superficial reasons. It's something to think about.
And the real world. What influenced Fitzgerald? The jazz age. He lived it, all that energy, but also the moral gray areas. And he saw the wealthy elite up close. It must have had an impact.
Fitzgerald's life, his relationship with Zelda, his wife, they were in that world. The rich, the parties, it's all reflected in the novel. The themes, the social dynamics. His experiences definitely shaped how he portrayed it all.
He wasn't writing in a vacuum either. Dr. Rathod probably mentions other writers, like Edith Wharton. She explored similar themes. Wealth, secrets in those upper classes.
Wharton's novels are insightful. She gets into the nitty-gritty of high society, the hidden realities. I'm sure she was an influence on Fitzgerald. They're both looking at the same things, the same social landscape.
And the setting, Long Island. Real places that inspired West Egg, East Egg. That adds another layer, don't you think? Makes it more real.
Yeah, the geography grounds the story. You can picture it. The Gold Coast, East Egg, old money, then West Egg, new money coming in. That was a real thing back then. And it's captured perfectly in the novel.
And the American dream. It's tied to history, right? Post-World War I, everyone wanted to get rich quick, move up the social ladder.
That's the context. Everyone believed they could be successful. And money meant happiness, status. That's what makes Gatsby's story so powerful, his ambition, his failure. It all plays out against that backdrop.
Okay, let's recap. What are the key takeaways here? The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Published April 10th, 1925. Set in summer 1922. Long Island, New York. West Egg and East Egg. Not a long book, usually around 180 pages.
It took a while for people to really appreciate it, but now it's essential American literature. Everyone reads it, studies it, it captures the Roaring '20s, but it's also timeless. Those themes, ambition, wealth, love, and that American dream, it keeps us thinking, even now.
So putting it all together, The Great Gatsby, it's a story about big dreams, colliding with reality. And that reality is often harsh, superficial.
The characters, they're flawed, complex. They've got desires, insecurities, self-destructive tendencies. It all builds to that tragic ending. It's a story that stays with you, makes you think about what your dreams cost.
And on that note, here's something to ponder. How does The Great Gatsby portray the American dream? Are those portrayals still relevant today? What do we consider success, happiness? Are we, like Gatsby, chasing illusions, idealized versions of the past or the future? And what are the dangers of doing that? It's worth thinking about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.